anyway, so I started following sort of like the dancing, like, you know what I mean, the b-boying, like break dancing, and that was kind of my like way of like, oh, this is what I'm good at, you know what I mean. Anyway, fast forwarding that, like I followed up my career on dancing, and then I met this group of boys, and then we were all like not good at sport, but good at dancing, you know what I mean? And it was mixed cultures as well, which is pretty cool. You know, we had Samoans in there, we had Irish, we had Maori, Filipino, myself, three Filipinos came in. It was buzzy because it was our thing. And we did competitions. This was like 2005, 2004, and we were beating like a lot of crews back then, you know. And I was like, oh. And we got to a point where we got to like represent New Zealand, because we there was no nationals or anything like that to compete. So we saw this video of the World Hip Hop Champs. This was 2005. No one knew about the World Hip Hop Champs, and we were like, I wonder if there's World Hip Hop Champs. And we were like, yeah, it's YouTube back then. And there's no social media back then. We had to go on YouTube, and then we saw this hip hop comp, you know, and it was like Canada, the US. I think it was Holland, Trinidad, Tobago. It was only a couple countries. And man, New Zealand needs to go there. So we started to chase it, right? But we needed funding, bro, to get to there, right? So we would like approach people of like I don't know, companies. I don't know, like even New Zealand sport, like, you know, just to see like where they at with like, oh, hip hop, like, you know what I mean, bro. And to them, hip hop was like hip hop. Like a gangster thing, like, you know what I mean? And they're trying to ask funding for money to go and compete at the World Hip Hop Champs, which no one knew about. So it was pretty hard, bro, getting funding. And we felt like, bro, this is, if we beat every crew here and every like competition, aren't we the best in New Zealand? Like,
so who was running these other competitions? Who was running them?
It was like wasn't school competition. It was the first big competition we sort of competed was a Missy Elliott comp. So Missy Elliott came and she had a concert in New Zealand, and there was a competition to have like a opener for her concert, and she needed like a dancer, like a dance crew, like a hip hop thing. So they held like a Missy Elliott competition, right? And then there was a couple of crews like 888 Funk. It was like a Auckland University sort of hip hop crew. There were like South Auckland crews. I don't know if Blaze, you know, remember Blaze? It was Matt Gavitt. It was a Kelston.
Oh yeah,
and Fale and all that. They had a crew as well. I wasn't sure if they did Missy, but yeah, there was a Wellington group as well, I think, and we sort of had like a battle, and then we won, and then so we're like, damn, we got to perform at Missy Elliott's concert. So that was on, you know, and they're like, bro, this is mean, and we started looking for other competitions, and at the time it was like Christian comps. There was CTC and Parachute. There was all these other dance things where we could perform, and we were always like performing, and we were like, bro, we ended up trying to battle breakdance crews, and we were just a dance crew, and we were all battling, and then we were winning these sort of like comps differently, you know, even if it was like a arts comp, like where it was like kapahaka mixed with hip hop, you know, we were joining those ones, anything to do with hip hop, and we were like winning a lot of those. And then yeah, we just started to chase that a little bit more, and then we finally got our funding and stuff. But how we got it was crazy, because we would busk in Queen Street. Like, come on now. Like, we were
dancing on Queen Street?
Bro, like, to busk, to get money, you know what I mean? And we'd do, like, little functions just to get, like little gigs just to earn that. And obviously, we used a lot of our pocket money. Like, back then, you know, a lot of us were just, like, in our 20s. So a lot of support from our parents to go to that comp. We went to Las Vegas for that first comp with the first New Zealand crew there. No New Zealand crew, and we're like, boys, we're representing NZ, and we were fortunate enough that Adidas, back then, Adidas Originals, found out we were going through to the World Hip Hop Champs, and then we'll sponsor you with some gears. So that was technically our sponsor, not with money, but some gears. At least we had that. So Adidas was on board, and it was on because we competed, and then they have like heats, and then they have like the finals. We went through the heats, and we were like fifth. We're like, boys, we're fifth in the world. Like, it was crazy, bro, because, like, no one in New Zealand knew this, you know? And then in the finals, we ended up coming 7th. This is 2005, coming 7th. We came 7th. We were a little bit gutted because we knew we could go a little bit further. And then we went home and they were like, oh, cool, 7th place, New Zealand. Oh, you know, like a lot of people, our families were proud, our parents were proud, but to New Zealand, I was like, oh, 7th. Oh, that's good on you. You know what I mean? And then the next year, so we're like, boys, we know what it's like now. We know what to do now. We don't just have to busk, we have to actually go through companies and see what they can say, if they can sponsor us or whatnot. But by then, a couple of New Zealand crews started to find out that, oh, these guys went over just by asking the World Hip Hop Champs. Now we want to go over too. So we had a Wellington group called Legacy go over. We had then Blaze went over, and I think another group, so East Auckland group called O2, was a church group that went as well. And then we all competed. So there was more countries now, right? So it started to be a more thing because YouTube was popping up with the World Hip Hop Champs. And then, long story short, bro, we came second, and we were the first New Zealand team to come home with a medal from the World Hip Hop Champs. And then we had silver, and we came home to the airport, and it was buzzy because everyone came to the airport. It was like, with a haka already, like, you know what I mean? And then we're on TV3 saying, oh, New Zealand beat the Americans in their own game because the Philippines came first, bro. And that's another story, because when they came first, I'm Filipino, so I'm like, hey, what the hell, bro? But I was like, Kiwi hard, eh? I was like, they had this chant, all the Filipinos had this chant at the World Hip Hop Champs where they say, Pinoy, Pinoy. It's like a Filipino thing, you know? And I swear, like, you know, I'm like, it's my country. Like, I'm all good. But at the time, I was like, I'm not gonna jump that, bro. I'm Kiwi hard, man. Like, oh man, it was buzzy, bro. It was so buzzy. Anyway, we came to the airport and it was on. And then from then, New Zealand hip hop exploded, bro. It exploded because then you had obviously Request, Paris Global take out the first gold in New Zealand. And I remember they were like the varsity of our generation. When we were teaching, we were called Dziah back then, our dance crew, and we had workshops and whatnot. And I remember like Paris and her girls used to come take classes from us. And I was on, bro. It was pretty cool. Back then, we were just treating it like, oh yeah, everyone wants to take our classes. Let's teach some choreography. And then looking back now, I'm like, whoa, Paris took my class. That's pretty on. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty buzzy. I tell my daughter, because she's a Paris fan, like, hey, Paris used to take my classes. She's like, whatever the hell, you're not that cool. Like, I don't have footage back then. Like, I can't show on YouTube. I'm like, But yeah, it's pretty buzzy thing, man.